Alright guys, we're going into crazy zone here. Make a few things perfectly clear. This vehicle is never going to run on the road again. Okay? All the brake lines are 100% shot, rusted out. That alone is a major job. That alone is a major job. Things that scare most people away don't bother me. The floors inside rotted out, that's not a problem. Okay, the engine compartment here, you see, is quite decent actually. A lot of surface rust, of course, but okay. Main front end is complete, in good shape, and it steers beautifully. It really does. Drive shaft is still intact. You see it there's the tubular shaft. Okay, you guys not familiar with them, do a little research. Very different than the drive shafts, modern drive shafts, so to speak, from like the mid-50s on. There's a one-piece tube all the way into the rear end. So, that's why it's still in there. It has not been pulled out. But, as you can see, there's plenty of room in this cavity to put any type of a engine I want. And I'm thinking about some crazy ideas. So, as I said, the floors are gone, okay? Except for the back. That back floor is actually solid as a rock. It really is. From there forward, it's not good. The center here is actually very rusty but solid, as well as the center tube cover section. All of this gets cut out and replaced with metal sheeting. It's time consuming, but it's not impossible to do, and I believe I can do it. The frame itself, a lot of surface rust. You can see what I'm talking about with the brake lines there. A lot of surface rust. It's actually the master cylinder right there. Okay. This had a plate here, unboltable plate to get to the drive shaft and the master cylinder and what have you, okay? It was an access panel. So, this is what I have. Drive shaft right there, okay? And, as I said, this body rolls very easily. It really does. I pulled it over here, and around the yard for that matter, with my 8 horsepower wheel horse, and it rolled effortlessly. It really did, effortlessly. In high range actually, didn't even put it in low range. So, with that in mind, I know I can move this vehicle around my property with very little horsepower. And that's what I plan on doing. It's never going to be on the road again, but I'm going to make it a somewhat functional, fun project to drive around the property and display it on the lawn, etc. And just have fun with it. And most importantly, know that I rescued it. Alright guys, you can see in the past this car has gone through many attempts at patchwork. Okay, but she is shot, as I said. It's going to take a lot of work. But we have a good foundation, I still believe. Frame is solid, all the way forward and back. I got under there and looked, and there's no cracks at all in that frame. Amazing. Just freaking amazing. Okay, 73 years old. No cracks. Today the cars don't last 5 years without getting cracks and holes. Anyhow, the rear is solid, the tube is solid, and the frame is solid. So I get rid of all of the thin, rusted scrap metal, and just a matter of reinforcing the door lips and putting sheet metal, heavy duty sheet metal, kind of used for roofing, down on the floor, and I might even reinforce that with two layers, one way then the other way. I don't know yet, but it's going to be a roof job, okay? I do not restore anything. I don't have the knowledge or the money. This is exactly what I call it, a rescue. Okay, this car is going to be finished, is going to be somewhat crazily functional around the yard, and it's going to live on. And that's what I'm all about, just keeping the history alive. You know, it sounds like a crazy waste of time to a lot of guys, especially big car guys who have the money and the ability to do things that I can't do, but that's where it's at. Let's move on to... Alright, how are we going to power this old girl? Somehow, some way, I am going to fit a air-cooled garden tractor engine and transmission in here, connected by a pulley. It's going to spin that drive shaft, and that's going to give me enough power to drive this thing around the property, around the yard, just for fun. That's all this is all about, okay? And my grandkids can also drive it, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So, it's a major project. I've never seen anybody do it before. I don't know if I can do it, but I'm going to try. Like I said, I moved this thing around the entire yard and parked it here, just pulling it along with my 8 horsepower wheel horse tractor. 8 horsepower Kohler engine. So I know if I mount a 10, 12, 16 horsepower engine in here with a pulley system to spin that shaft, well, this thing is going to move, and it's going to move around the yard nicely. So that's my plan. I know it sounds absolutely crazy and really insane to a lot of guys, wasted time, what have you, but I'm not looking to restore. I'm looking to have fun and give this old girl a little more life, and more importantly, just pass it on to my grandsons and let them have fun with it. So that's the story. That's the initial plan. Tell me what you think.